Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Scott and this is Keeping It Real Bass Fishing. Like always, we try to keep it real. Appreciate you joining the channel today. I wanted to talk to you briefly. Some questions I've been getting. I wanted to respond to some of those questions. And one of the questions I've been getting here lately, quite a bit actually, is when you're out pond fishing, how many rods do you take? Well, that's a good question. I mean, some guys to say that they take 8 or 9. Some guys will say 1, 3, 5. I've heard all kind of numbers. Everything you got. Somebody, I heard one guy said that he would tie up everything on like 8 or 9 different rods, then go down and carry those around the pond and throw different things to figure out what the fish wanted. You could do that. But one thing is, if you fish in ponds, and especially if you got to go out in the woods and you got to walk a long ways, or if you got, the pond may be a pretty good sized pond and a lot of walking all the way around that thing. Could be a lot of trees, a lot of bushes. You could have to walk through a farm, hop a fence even, or walk through a pasture, or through the woods. There's a lot of things to consider, when you're going pond fishing. If it's places you've been before and you've fished it a bunch of times, you kind of got an idea of what it's like and what you may want to take. There's really no set answer for that question. I can tell you what my opinion is, based off what I've learned over 45 years of pond fishing. I used to, you see all that hanging on the wall? I used to tie everything up on there, load it up in the car, take it with me and try to carry that to the pond, lean it up on a tree somewhere and just fish. And just that way I didn't have to tie a bunch of stuff on. But I learned I didn't feel like, having to keep up with all that. And it got tough and it's got hard trying to carry that many rods around the pond. And then I learned, when I'm fishing a pond, especially if I'm out fishing ponds I've never fished before, or if it's a new pond and I'm actually just trying to find out if there's even any fish in that pond or what they're actually wanting to eat, I'm just going to probably take me 2 or 3 rods. Usually that's all I'll take. But 2, I'll take 3. Sometimes 2, it's depending, but no more than 3. That's what my opinion is. I answered that question. That's what I would take. And it being the time of the year, you should know what the bass want to eat, especially in ponds. It's not that hard to figure that out if you've been fishing, any length of time, or in ponds any length of time. But if you're new to the sport, if you're new to fishing or new to fishing, pond fishing, I would recommend, especially if you're just out hunting ponds and looking for ponds and you got to climb a fence, walk across a big pasture, or, maybe trot through the woods. It's a lot easier to keep up with 2 or 3 of them. Tackle wise, make it simple. Put your little pond kit together. That's what I call it. You get a plain old box, 1 or 2 of them, something you can put in a backpack. 2 or 3 of them even, in the small ones. Put what you're going to throw or fish in a pond in some plain old boxes, small ones or medium, and put them in a backpack. That way you put the backpack on your back and carry it in while you hold your rods. That way you ain't got to worry about carrying a big old tackle box. That makes sense? I hope it does. And like I say, if you're just out fishing ponds and hunting ponds, or maybe it's a new pond and you want to just fish it and figure out if they got any fish in that pond, depending on the year. Like right now, it's summertime. We're in the middle of July, and hot as a firecracker, as we like to say up here. But anyhow, top water should be on. That should be the ticket. So, tie you on some top water lures, good buzz bait, good frogs, like I say, are good in the ponds. Whopper plopper, popper. Those are good top water plugs. Anything that's top water, tie you on one or two of those. And if you're not getting no bites on top, then you may need to slow it down a little bit. You just fish the bottom, drag a jig across the bottom, or fish a big worm, even throw a trick worm, Ned rig, or you can throw Cinco. Just slow it down a little bit, and see if you can pick up some off the bottom. Because a lot of times when it gets hot in this time of year, and that water gets hot, I'm trying to say, these fish are going to go deeper in the pond and probably stay in that deeper water. So, you just got to get to them. They'll come up in them shallow waters at certain times of the year, and that shadow is bugging me. I don't know where that's coming from. But anyway, just wanted to reach out to you guys and answer that question, mainly about how many rods I carry. That's what I like to say, 2 or 3 to a pond. I've been bass fishing over 45 years, and I've been pond fishing all those years as well, as well as being on the river and on the lakes. I've fished a lot of ponds, and I still do. I love pond fishing. I probably caught some of my biggest bass out of ponds. But anyway, just a tip or two for you. Answer those questions. Try it out and see if you like what I'm saying. Just pick you out 2 or 3 good rods you like to throw. Some good medium heavy rods, some medium light rods, 6.5, 7 foot rods. You can converse. If you need to change them up. If you're throwing a buzz bait and they ain't eating it, cut it off, put a jig on. Because if you carry your backpack in, like I was telling you, and you got your pond lures that you're going to throw in your Plano boxes in your backpack, remember to bring a pair of scissors, the small scissors, or some fingernail clippers work good, or a good sharp knife. I always have those in my tackle box, and a good pair of pliers. Some needle nose pliers. Get those hooks out so you don't get one in your finger. Those are some good tips if you don't already know that. Keep them in your bag as well. And just remember, these things will save you a lot of trouble. It's a lot of headache and aggravation. Just make it simple. Don't make it complicated. Like I say, you can always retie if you need to change your lures when you're out there, and especially way out on the pond, and you don't want to have to carry all that gear with you. Just make it simple, carry what you need, and you can just retie as you go about your day. It don't take but a few minutes. All right. Hope those tips and points helped you out. If you got any more comments, drop them down in that comment section. Like I say, I read them. I try to answer them as much as I can. Hope these tips helped you out and answered your questions. Also, if you would, if you enjoyed this video and today's content, hit that subscribe. If I can talk, hit that subscribe button for me if you would, and hit that like button. Let me know you like the content. Drop us a comment, a line. We're always looking for that, and I'll be glad to try to, like I say, answer those questions for you. Alrighty. Stay tuned and check us out on some other videos coming up. I'm fixing to do a good one on spinner baits. I watch some other video channels out here that are, been around for a little while, like I have. And it's one thing I've noticed that people don't talk about spinner baits much. A lot of the pros don't even talk about spinner baits. You know, out there fishing tournaments, very little. Every suddenly you'll someone to talk about spinner bait. It's like they think spinner bait's going away or something. I don't understand that. I fish spinner baits all the time. I love spinner baits. Spinner baits are probably one of my favorite bass lures to throw, and I always throw in one. Different colors, different sizes, blades and stuff throughout the year as the water temperature changes, clarity changes, and the season change, and the fish change on the way they feed, obviously. But anyway, I'm putting a video together here soon on just on spinner baits. I would recommend you tune into that. I know you're going to learn a thing or two. If not, maybe you can pass it on, share it to a friend that will. I'm sure you'll enjoy it anyway. I was just thinking, might talk a little bit about some chatterbaits too. I ain't made my mind up. But anyway, we always keeping it real. Wanted to get this video out, like I say, join us and hit that subscribe button for me and that notification button and that like button if you'll enjoy the content today. Let us know if you liked it. We appreciate it. And y'all have a good evening. And remember, we always keeping it real. Let's go get that big one.